it's appropriate tonight for me to say this. The lesson tonight is about, what we're going through when it doesn't go according to plan. And it's not going according to plan, but you go with it. So look, hey, Charles Beavers. Hey, Charles Beavers. Hey, Charles Beavers. So glad to see you. So glad to see you. I tell you. Let me get the little comments here. So I can see them. Well, we're going to get started. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Live Late Night Lattes, Laughter and Life with Lady Laura, or Living Out Loud over Lattes, Laughter and Life with Lady Laura. So glad that you guys could come and join us. Let me tell you something. Tonight's lesson has been making in the works all week. It's only Thursday. It's not even Friday of the weekend. Been making it's just the making of this week. But let me tell you something. It never, hey, Maritza, Phoebe, it never goes according to plan. It never goes according to plan. Did I say never? It never goes according to plan. So when life gives you when life gives you lemons, you got to make lemonade. So this lesson is especially for Sydney Girl. It's for Sydney Girl and for myself. So first of all, don't tell me. I know I have different earrings on. Yeah. And I'm talking about when life doesn't go as planned. When life doesn't go as you plan. You know, God laughs, and I know he does, because how we laugh and how we do and how we think is nothing like what he thinks. Nothing. How he does it and how we do it is not the same. So look at me. I forgot totally. I'm wearing green under this jacket. I'm wearing green. So because I'm wearing green, do you hear me? Because I'm wearing green, I blended right in. So because, what are you doing? Okay.
That's showing up on thing.
Oh, well, I don't know how to make it go off. So anyway, I decided that I was going to wear green, and this is a green screen. So if there's a green screen, then you see everything. So hubby's here trying to figure out how to get it off for me. Maybe it's under settings. I don't know.
No.
Anyway. Oh, hide. Okay. All right. So we're starting. So tonight's lesson is when things don't go according to plan. Now, last night we went to Tony Simon's cousins. They're here for the whole week vacationing, and we went to see them at the hotel out in Irvine. And it's so funny because he says to me, "Girl, are you on every day?" He sees me all the time, and I'm like, "No, I'm not on every day." But thank you for saying that. That gives me hope that I'm getting out there. Anyway, Monday, I'm giving her props. I'm giving her props. Dolores Llewellyn. If you're on the replay, if you're on live, okay. But Dolores Llewellyn taught a lesson on Monday for the pastor's wives that just blew us away. And of course, I should have known that I was going to have a lesson that she talked about during the week. So anyway, as you know, well, first of all, let me tell you this. Shameless plug. My book, y'all, my book. I am a finalist for the Golden Scrolls Award. So, I'm excited because y'all know the history behind the book. So I'm excited. Let me tell you something. I'm going to give Dolores Llewellyn total credit, because the lesson she said is, will you make the sacrifice? Will you make the sacrifice? We ain't worried about the sacrifice. Here go the question that I want to ask you. Here's the question that I want to ask you. And I want you to put it in the chat. Here's the question that blew us all away. And I'm going to tell you how it's going to tie into the night. Dolores said, can you move forward without the details? When you know God has told you something, can you move forward without the details? Oh, that's good. Can you move forward? Can you move forward with you? There's no flashlight in front of your feet. You just have to move. You just have to move because that's what God told you to do. How many of you can move forward without the details? Let me tell you this little story. So my daughter, Sydney, is supposed to go and move away to Arkansas, and she to Little Rock, Arkansas, and she has a job, and she has an apartment, and she has a car. But here's the problem. Ready? The teaching job, they're like they haven't called and been in contact all the time. Number two, the apartment, I even called. The apartment hasn't called back either. And three, the car isn't ready. The car that she was going to take is not ready, right? Okay. So that's three things that aren't ready and they're not going according to plan. And so she's vacillating between, do I stay? Do I go? What do I do? Well, let me tell you something about God. Here it go. And this is what I said, and this I'm saying to y'all too. When you have another test, when you keep on having a test, and we're having another test, when you have a test and you didn't flunked it like 2-3 times, here it is. Stop flunking the test. Okay? Stop flunking the test. It's time for us not to flunk the test. It's time for us to move on and pass the test. So I told Sydney, we're going to pass the test this time. All the things that the enemy is throwing to us, we're going to pass the test. So what are we going to do? We're going to pray, and then we're going to move forward. So with the apartment, they haven't called us back, but they sent a link. They sent a link. The link says click in. Well, click in on the link and click in and pay your deposit. Because that way, when you get there next week, they can't say, oh, I gave your apartment away because you didn't pay the deposit. No, pay the deposit. We have called and called and called and called and called. It's already set up. She's already talked to them. So we're going to go with God, unless he just says absolutely no, and we're going to move forward. But you have to make steps. Faith without works is dead. You have to work your faith. You can't just say, I give up. Who is that for? I don't know who I'm talking to, maybe just myself, but I am talking to myself too. Move forward without knowing the details. Let me say, I'm going to Kentucky next month without the details. I'm going to go, and I'm going to see what God's going to do with this book. Go without it's Dolores said, can you move without the details? And then number 3, she says, can you give up that one beloved thing that you can't, you think you can't live without? That's Sydney. Sydney had already planned and got her TVs. And how many of you moved into your apartment, your first home? How many of you moved into it was everything was ready and set and let's go? No, it's never like that. It's never like that. And if you get to move in just like that, yay for you. When we moved into this house 24 years ago, we didn't have much, nothing either. The family room was barren. So the thing now is, I'm not just talking about Gen Z. I'm talking about the millennials, but I'm saying life doesn't go that way, just like that. We have all these plans that we make. The first thing is, do we consult God? That's the first thing. The second thing is, do we consult God? The third thing is, do we consult God? I had planned to have my hair done. I had planned not to wear green. I had planned to be here on time and do what I'm supposed to do, talk to y'all. And guess what? You know, Tony's cousin says, I talk with my hands a lot. Okay, I'm going to do like this. Guess what? My hair didn't get done. I'm wearing green. So look what happens when you wear green. Unexpected. Not going the way I planned. Nothing ever goes the way that you plan. Nothing ever goes the way that you plan. So here it is. Can you move without the details? And all week I've been saying this to myself. Can you give up that one beloved thing you can't live without? But here's number 4. Credit to Dolores Fluellen. What are you willing to be obedient? Are you willing to be obedient even if you don't get to see the end result? All right. What do I mean by that? Or what did Dolores mean by that? Dolores is saying, what if you don't get what you promised? Okay, Sydney, Laura, what if you don't get what you thought you were going to get? How are you going to act? How are you going to act? How are you going to act? So when you don't get what you thought you were going to get, how do you act? I'll wait. How do you act? See, that's the other thing that we get tested on. God is like, how are you going to do? What are you going to do? How are you going to do it? And how are you going to act if you don't get it? And a lot of us are spoiled brats. We're entitled, spoiled brats. And so when we don't get it the way that we think that we ought to get it, then we give up, or we get mad, or we give up, or we get mad. We do all of that. That's what we do. So then it says, Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not unto your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct their path. Okay, so in the Message version, I love the Message version. It says, in everything you do, put God first. In everything you do, put God first. He will lead and guide you, and he will crown your efforts with success. What do? When it comes time to a big decision, or even, no, I'm not going to even say that because I'm guilty. Y'all don't want to say nothing? Okay, fine. You know what it is? What happens in the small decisions? Do you ask God? Do you consult God in the small in the small decisions? Okay, so let me give you this definition. Sacrifice. Well, Laura, what does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? Sacrifice means giving up something. Sacrifice, an act of slaughtering an animal or person or surrendering a possession as an offering to God or to a divine or supernatural figure. We're not doing that. We're just saying slaughtering an animal or person or surrendering a possession as an offering to God. Offer or kills religious sacrifice. So I wanted to ask Sydney, I haven't had a chance yet. What have you sacrificed? Phoebe says, when it doesn't go my way, I will cry or feel it, then get myself together and say, God, I still trust you. But you say, God, I still trust you after you've had your temper tantrum. When it doesn't go my way, I will cry. I'll get in my feelings. Then I get myself together. When we should go the opposite way. We should go to God first and then wait for everything else. I don't do that, if I'm honest. So when Dolores said that, the one that resonated with me was, can you move forward without the details? Faith without works is dead. Can you move forward without the details? Can you move forward? Can you just trust God and move forward? So then I was praying, and I thought, well, God, where did she get that from? I have the tendency to trust God when it's going really, really well. When all the things are going well and everything is okay. But then I don't trust him. I lean on my own understanding. And I don't acknowledge him. Because I want to see the details. I do. Can you move forward without the details? I'm asking you, can you move forward without the details? I can't. I can't. Sometimes. So, what do I want to tell you guys tonight? It's what I read at the prayer meeting. Because this is what I'm holding on to. This is what I'm holding on to. Joshua 1. Joshua 1 says, after the death of Moses, the servant of God, God spoke to Joshua, Moses' assistant. Moses, my servant, is dead. Get going. Cross this Jordan River, you and all the people. Cross to the country I'm giving to the people of Israel. That's the promise. But can we move forward without the details? I'm giving you every square inch of the land you set your foot on, just as I promised Moses. From the wilderness and this Lebanon, east to the great river, the Euphrates River, I'm reading with my head down, all the Hittite country, and then west to the great sea. It's all yours. God is saying it's all yours. All your life, no one will be able to hold out against you. In the same way I was with Moses, I'll be with you. I won't give up on you. I won't leave you. Strength, courage. You are going to lead this people to inherit the land that I promised to give their ancestors. Give it everything you have, heart and soul. Make sure you carry out the revelation that Moses commanded you, every bit of it. Don't get off track, either left or right, so as to make sure you get to where you're going. That's what the enemy is doing. That's what the enemy does in our lives. He distracts us. And we go to the left, we go to the right. We don't keep our eye on what God has said. Just like Peter getting out of the boat. As long as his eyes were on Jesus, he was doing fine. Faith, working, he's doing, he's looking, eyes on Christ. He's moving forward. And then, just like us, we take our eye off Jesus. We don't listen to what Jesus told us. We don't listen to God. And then we sink. Says, do not get off track, either left or right, so as to make sure you get to where you're going. And don't for a minute let this book of the Revelation be out of mind. Ponder, read the word, meditate on it day and night, making sure you practice everything written in it. Then you'll get where you're going. Then you'll succeed. Haven't I commanded you? Strength, courage. Don't be timid. Don't get discouraged. Don't be timid. Don't get discouraged. God, your God, is with you every step you take. Pack your bags. In 3 days, you're going to cross the Jordan River. You're going to enter the land of God. Your God is giving you to possess. Do you have to have the details to move forward? I'm preaching to myself. Do you need the details to move forward? Do you need the details to move forward? No, you don't. Trust God in everything you do. Put him first and move forward. What am I saying to y'all tonight? Be bold, be brave. God is with you. God is with us. There's no reason to let go. If he took care of you now, then, if he took care of you then, he's going to take care of you now. All the things that he's done for Sydney, all the things that he's done for our family, all the things he's done for me. Think about it. All the things he's done for you. God is a good God. Just as he was with Moses, he'll be with you. Just as he was with Joshua, he'll be with you. And he's saying, be bold, be brave, stand up, be courageous. I promised you. I promised you you would get it. I promised you. So if he promised you, why are you doubting now? I'm talking to me. If he's done all this for you before, why won't he do it again? Can you move forward without the details? Can you move in the direction God wants you to go if you don't know the details? I wrote this book. I wrote it for God because he told me to. It's been in the works a long time. If I hadn't written the book, then I wouldn't be up for the war, wouldn't be going to Kentucky. And I wouldn't be able to tell others how good God is and what he's done for me. And so that's for tonight. I know I'm on Joshua all the time, but right now I'm trying to encourage you as well as myself. We need to trust in the Lord with all our heart and lean not to our own understanding. In all our ways, acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. When it doesn't go according to plan, go to God. When it doesn't go the way you want it to, go to God. When it doesn't turn out like you thought it would, can you move forward without the details? Can you trust God? Can you trust God for him to do it? Can you give up that one thing that's standing in your way? that you're holding on. That's why we need him all the time for help, because some situations are too tough, but they are all worth it. The stretch leads us to growth. Amen, Phoebe. The stretch leads us to growth. I'm hoping that my daughter stretches out on God, hears from him, and then moves forward without the details. God has a plan for all of you, all of us. We just need to walk in it. There's a plan. Walk in it. God's going to handle it for you. Amen? Even this didn't go the way I planned it. Thought it would go over a little bit better, because we've all had the moment where we don't trust him, and he comes through every time. And then here's the killer part. He comes through saving you, saving your money, saving your time, saving your heartache, and then it's better than you ever imagined it would turn out. It's better than I ever imagined it would turn out. In everything you do, put God first. He will lead and guide you and crown your efforts with success. But you got to make a sacrifice, and you got to do the work. You got to ask God for clarity. You have faith and do the work. Trust God, lean on him, have faith, walk in it. That's it. Faith without works is dead. So everything's not going to just drop it to your lap. And you need to know that. Dolores challenged us with, can you move forward without the details? That's your plan. You done planned it out, and you're like, God, here it go. And he's like, no, we're not doing it that way. We're not doing it that way. So can you move forward without the details? When it doesn't go how you planned, can you trust God? Can you lean on God? Can you have the faith and do the work in the dark? Or do the work with a little bitty flashlight like Nehemiah on the wall? Stop having a pity party. Stop giving up and do what God told you to do, even if you do it afraid. And that's what I'm doing. I'm doing all of this afraid. For those of you who think, oh, this is easy and she got it down pat. No, I don't. Yes, I'm afraid, but I'm doing it anyway. If this is what God says, I'm moving forward. And I am moving forward without the details. Isaiah 30:21. Thank you, babe. This is the way. Walk in it. And your ears shall hear a word behind you saying, this is the way. Walk in it. When you turn to the right or when you turn to the left, walk in it. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not to what you think your plans should be. That's from me. In everything you do, put God first. He will lead you and guide you and crown your efforts with success. Without faith, it is impossible to please God. So have faith, do the work, walk in it. Trust God. Hey, David Love. Check the replay in everything you do. In everything you do, put God first. He will lead and guide you and crown your efforts with success. David, we talked a lot about when the plans don't go like you want them to. But Phoebe, Joshua 1 says, be bold, be brave, be encouraged, be courageous, for God is with you. He'll never leave you. He'll never leave you. He's with you every step of the way. He promised you. So walk in it. Isaiah 30:21. And when you walk in it, will you move without the details? Move without the details. Move forward without the details. Just trust God. Put him first in the small things, in the big things, in the big decisions, in the small decisions. Put God first, and he will direct your path. And then he'll crown your efforts with success if you do it his way. What happens when your plans just don't go your way or the way you want it? What happens? Don't act out. Trust God and move forward, even if he's not giving you all the details. Amen? Have a good week, you guys, and a good weekend. I am going to walk forward. I'm going to trust God, even if I don't see it. Trust God. And have a great night. David, catch the replay. Love you guys.